Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me? Confirm.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Welcome to our revision and paper class, everybody. This is the fifth edition. This is the fifth time that we are doing our revision and paper class. And it's going to be another successful class, right? Obviously, you know the results that we have produced for the past few years. A lot of things to discuss today. So I will explain the agenda for today. Today is a free seminar, and we have invited many outsiders. I mean, students who are not part of the class as well, like an introduction to them. And I believe everybody will enjoy. And I want to see some see the hands of the new students. I just want to see who joined us for the first time today. Can you show me your hand, please, everybody? But in the meantime, senior students, confirm if the live stream is working perfect. Yeah, if you can see clearly. Streaming HD today, streaming 720p because of 5G. I got a 5G connection. You know, there's 5G, so I was thinking like, why don't we have 5G, right? Like, I mean, not Starlink, but 5G. Here in Maldives, we have both Starlink and 5G, but Starlink we have to travel. It's gonna be a little tough having in Sri Lanka and here in Maldives. So I live in Maldives most of the time. Like once in 2 or 3 months, I travel to Sri Lanka. So, but Sri Lanka, we don't have 5G, right? So I was thinking like, let's go for it. Let's see how it works. And then got a connection, and the speeds are amazing. I think I got 200 plus Mbps when I last checked. Yeah, which is good. I believe everybody will enjoy the new experience. Yeah, right. We got to use technology, when we can. Obviously, yeah, that is all. Like, all these investments are just to make sure that you get a very good experience, you get a professional smooth experience, right? Okay, so thank you all new joiners for joining us today. I hope you will enjoy the session. I mean, I was really scared that I won't be able to do the class today. First thing is, I was sick for the past 3 days. I was really down with fever, viral fever actually. And then today, today morning, we had a power issue, in the building. So they were working all day on the transformer in the building. So finally they fixed it around 5 o'clock. Then I was like, thank God I can do the seminar today. Otherwise, I was about to put a message like we might have a problem today, or we might have to reschedule the seminar to another day. Anyway, yeah, God bless us. So we are here. Okay, hope that the power will continue like this. Yeah, we'll see. Hoping for the best. All right. So, Pute, a lot of things to discuss today. I mean, today we are going to get a start. You already know what is the start that we are going to take today. This is called a brand new start. Okay, the brand new start and a kick start. This is what we are going to take today. So let's forget everything that happened in the past 1.5 years. I know some of you have been with me since the beginning of this class. I know those students are performing really well at school. I also know that a lot of students joined halfway through. Some of you joined in January. Some of you joined like a couple of months ago. I remember like 20 students joined in the last 3 months. So in our class right now we have 90 plus students. Okay, 90 plus permanent students. Yes, active students. So with the revision class starting, we will have 100 plus. Yeah, like next month also there will be many students joining. So hopefully, like, let's say 110, 120, something like that. This is my target, like for this year. Last year we had about 80 plus. Yeah, this year it has increased. Obviously, our results have contributed so much in this. And let's forget everything that we went through in the past 1.5 years, and everything, the ups and downs and the things that you couldn't do and everything. Let's forget everything, okay, in terms of history. And also let's also take it as a brand new start for other subjects as well. If you are really not focused on O levels yet, or if you haven't set your plans yet, it is time to start working from the start. Okay, let's take a fresh start. So let this class act as a fresh start to all of you, in everything you do, in all the subjects that you do. Okay, so I would like to remind you that. And then we will we will also come to reality. let's take a reality check, because we cannot cover everything we couldn't cover for 1.5 years in 2 months. Okay, you got to understand that as well. So you are not going to, be perfect in everything in 1 or 2 months. So give it some time. Okay, so let the time decide where you go, but let's set our plans today. So, as a teacher, I have our plans. I have my plans for this class, how this class should grow and what the results that this class should produce. I have my own targets, and you also have your targets. I believe you all have your targets for O levels. If you don't have one, set one today itself. How many A passes you're going to get, and what subjects you're going to get A passes in, what subjects you're going to try and get A passes. You got to have targets. End of the day, like achieving them. Some of you will be able to achieve all of them. Some of you will be even able to exceed those targets, like I did. In my O levels, I had targeted only 5 A's in my O levels, but I got 8 A passes in my O levels. So you can also have some surprise like that, or maybe you will fall short of the targets. Of course, yeah, some students, they targeted, I remember last year they targeted 7 A's, 8 A's, but they ended up getting 4, 5. Doesn't matter. End of the day, what we need to do is try our best, and leave the rest. Yeah, so if we tried our best, we know that we put everything that we have, and we got the results, and we got to accept the results. Okay, and it is what it is, right? But it doesn't mean that you should stop trying. You shouldn't stop trying, right? You should work hard, and end of the day, we have to accept our results as well. So here in this class, we have a lot of things to do, not in terms of only history, but also like helping you in your general study plans. So I do that as a help, as an extra mile that I go as a teacher. I'm also a product of the free education system in Sri Lanka. I went to 3 schools, and all 3 schools were government schools. So I, as a teacher, even though I am a tuition teacher, even though you might see me as a commercial guy who is charging money to teach you something, but I also have a responsibility to the society as a teacher, because I am a product of this society, especially the free education system. So I learned so many things from my school and my tuition teachers about life, about about the subject, and also about life, about being a good person. So I'm here to pass it over to the next generation as well. So some of the things that I'm going to tell you in class are not only subject related, but also important in your life. So I want to go that extra milestone as a teacher. So I'm very happy doing this job, right? Yeah. And okay, so let's get started for today's agenda. And I will just explain you, like, I mean, no hard and fast rules in the class. Relax, chillax, and let's do the work. Okay, I mean, not in a hurry. We are not in a hurry to do anything or something like that. I will explain you how the class is going to work, and I hope that everybody will be fully focused on this class starting today. Okay, like I said before, let's forget everything that happened in the past 1.5 years, and let's take it as a fresh start. Okay, today, and it is a winning start. It's gonna be a winning start. We play the games to win, right? We play the games to win because we have the best results in the country. Okay, like this is the results that we had um, last year. I mean, actually, I want to add one more A pass here. I don't know, I didn't check the Excel sheet also recently. Yeah, like a week or two ago, I checked it, and there was 41 A passes. Okay, yeah. So this is our results last year. Our results will, I mean, let the numbers talk. Okay, we will talk less. So you can see the previous times results. 41 A passes. Okay, one is not added here. 41 A passes, 16 Bs, 9 Cs, and 3 S passes. No Ws recorded. Right, and about 70 students out of the 80 plus students who took the exams sent us the results. Of course, not everybody is going to send their results. So here we have 41 A passes out of the 70 students who sent us the results. Okay, 41 A passes. So that shows that we are an A club. Okay, that is why I have named this class the class of kings. because I want you to join this A club. Okay, I want you all to target an A pass. So you are here spending 2000 rupees a month. You are here in this class not to get a C pass. If you want to get that C pass, please find another class, save your money, or you don't go to any class at all. Okay, you can get a C pass by working on your own also if you really work a little hard. But if you want to get that A pass, stay in the class. We want you to go for that A pass. But like I said before, even though you tried your best, you might not be able to get that A pass. There are many reasons for that. So don't don't be like demotivated or something like that. No matter, sometimes uh, life doesn't give us everything that we want. Okay, sometimes we have to accept surprises, right? So we have to accept, but it doesn't mean that we can't give our best. So we will still give our best. And one thing I want to tell you is that follow the plan of this class. Okay, follow this. There are no shortcuts. Follow the plan that I'm giving you perfectly. Okay, in the class you will be able to join this A club if you did so. Okay, so there are a few things I want to tell you before I get into the class plan. I don't care which school you go to, right? We have students from different schools: government schools, semi government schools, private schools, homeschooling. We have students from coming from all around the country and all walks of life, different backgrounds, different backgrounds also, right? I don't care which school you go to. I don't care how many marks you score in your school. I don't take it. Okay, I don't take those marks serious at all, because most of the schools are not following proper standards when it comes to O levels in the paper that they are giving. Because of that, I only take the marks of this class, the exams that we are going to do in this class series. I'm not going to take your school term test marks as a serious indicator of the result that you are going to get in your O levels. Okay, because they are always short. So let's say, for example, if you are getting 80 marks in your school exam, you're only going to get about 60 marks in your O level paper. That is the standard that I am referring to here. Okay, so everybody keep that in mind. And in our class, the standards are kept very high. I told you from the beginning, we are the class of kings. So we play the game at a little different level. Okay, we want to play at the highest level, like the international level. Okay, we play every game in that level. So in our class, if you score 70, you're going to get 80 marks in your O level paper. Trust me. Okay, so do not skip any exam that we are giving in this class. Do not skip. Okay, those who skipped have regretted their decisions. Okay, so I don't care if you go to your school term tests or not, if you score well in your school term tests or not, and I also don't care if you follow the procedures that are taught in your school or not. We teach you the proper procedures here in the class. Follow them, because that is how you can join the A club. Okay, I want to reiterate that I won't be telling this message again and again every day, but we have our standards, we have our plan. Follow that plan, Pute. Follow that plan. There's no shortcuts to that plan, and there's no denying that you are getting that A pass. Nobody can deny you that. Okay, I mean, let's take a simple example. I don't think any school has more than half of their class getting A passes for history. Let's be very honest here. Okay, you check your previous results in your school, the previous batch results. Has the half of the class students got A passes for history? Then I would I would literally end this class. Like, I mean, I would retire from teaching history. Okay, so we have proven over and over again, half of our students, more than half of our students are getting A passes in this class, meaning that our procedures are correct, our plan works. So follow my plan. If you want to follow someone else's plan, you can follow it and you can regret later. Okay, but if you want to follow my plan, you can thank me later. Okay, right. So let's get started with the agenda for today, and also how the class works and stuff like that. Okay, right. We will teach you everything. We will teach you how the exam works, how to write answers in the exam, and how you will come to know all these things, right? Okay, so here's the class. February 17th is your exam next year, and February 19th, February is our golden day, is a history day. Okay, third day in the exam from 8:30 to 11:40 a.m. will be your second paper. Okay, and from 1 o'clock or 1300 hours to 1400 hours will be your first paper or the MCQ paper, 1 hour paper. And this is the 3 hour paper, 3 hours and 10 minutes. I'll tell you why. We're going to discuss everything today. And then 1400 hours, 1405, you will be calling me, right? Yeah, to tell me that you did really well and you can expect an A pass, okay, with a smile on your face. So this is the smiling day for us, 19th February 2026. We're going to smile at the paper. We're going to laugh at ourselves because most of the questions that you will see in this paper, you will know them beforehand, okay? Yeah, you will know what's coming and you will be ready for this. You will know all the answers and everything, most of the things, like let's say 95% of the things that are going to come in the paper will be discussed in the class beforehand, okay? So you will just, feel like the class is echoing in your ears, nothing else. Yeah, right. Trust me, this is what our previous students told me. I mean, this is not me talking. Our previous students have spoken this, right? I mean, I can share you the feedback of them, right? Yeah. All right. So let's get started with our plan. So, it's going to be in February and we don't have much time this time around, right? We don't have much time. Actually, last year we had about 6+ months to be prepared for our revision and paper class. But this year, like, they brought the exam a little forward and we had our theory class going on, like until last week, right? We just finished the syllabus last week in our theory class. So we wait to start our revision and paper class after the theory class. So we only finished our theory class last week, and there's no theory class after this. And the theory class is now transitioned into the revision and paper class. Okay. So, right. And then we have little more than, I think, a little more than 5 months, right? Yeah. So by 10th February, Pute, next year, we are going to finish this class, okay? After 10th February, we are not allowed to do any classes. So we have little more than 5 months only this year, meaning that we might have to keep a couple of extra classes to achieve our goals or targets, okay? So be ready for a couple of extra classes. I will try to keep those extra classes to a minimum. I'm not a guy like, I know that you have a lot of other important subjects, science, maths, Sinhala, especially, your favorite subject, Sinhala, especially Sinhala literature, your most favorite subject. You need a lot of time to focus on those subjects. So I don't want to take away any, like, time from you. So I'll try to keep it to a minimum, right? The number of extra classes, I'll try to keep it to a minimum, let's say 4 or 5 only. Okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, let's see how we fare and we will adjust the plan accordingly. Okay, right. So we need about 18 days, 18 weeks or 18 days, one day per week, right? We need 18 days, little more than that, maybe a couple more than that, to cover or revise every all the units, okay? Because we have 18 units in our syllabus, 10 units from grade 10 and 8 units from grade 11. So if we take 1 day per unit, it's gonna take about 18 days. Sometimes, like there might be a little hiccups. We can expect that, right? Some lessons are too big and some lessons are target lessons that we want to spend a little more time focusing on. So maybe a couple of extra classes in between of those 18 days, okay? So this is our goal, this is our plan for this year, right? Within 18 days, let's say 18 to 20 days, we are gonna tap on to all the subjects, all the units of both the grades, okay? That is the first plan, okay? And then you know the timing, Pute. The timing is Saturday, block the day, Saturday 7:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Like I said before, there are no hard and fast rules. We will start about 7:35. Like we will allow a small grace period for the students to join the class. Those who have technical issues, internet issues, bad weather, stuff like that, coming back from physical classes. We will take into account everything, and 7:35, 7:40 is where we're gonna kick off. And then, like I said before, there are no hard and fast rules, and we have our targets every day, and we will hopefully achieve the target by 10:30. Then you can go to bed, or you can log out at 10:30. Or if we haven't achieved those targets, we might continue until 11 o'clock, maybe even 11:30. Okay, but we will have our breaks in between. Every hour normally we have a break in the class. Okay, all right. So you have to be prepared for this. And if you don't have any classes in the afternoon, you are very lucky. You can have a small nap, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes power nap, and then be ready for this class with a fresh mind every day, right? Because every day will be a new lesson. That is what we are trying to achieve every day. Okay, right. So be ready for extended sessions if the need be. I don't see any class ending before 10:30 unless if there's anything very special. Yeah, some lessons. Always we have many things to discuss about all the lessons. So 10:30 or later. Okay, this is what you need to understand. Okay, right. Pute, keep your mics muted. I don't want to mute you. Please keep your mics muted. Right. I don't want to mute you and unmute you. No, I don't like this in the class. Yeah, normally. All right, I keep the mics open, so anybody when I ask questions, I need immediate answers. I don't want to switch in between. Yeah. All right. So okay. All right. Any questions about the timing or any questions about the day of the class or anything like that? All the classes are recorded. There can't be any question, obviously. All the classes are recorded, live streamed on YouTube. Sometimes I record them on my computer as well. If I feel like the live stream is not good, I will go with the recorded version. I will upload it in our YouTube channel, and I will give you the personal link, like the unlisted link where it's not public. Those videos are not public, so only our students will have access to those links, and you will get the recordings. And if you, for any reason, if you are not able to attend these classes, you must watch the recording before the next class. Why? Because all these lessons are connected to each other, and all these sessions are connected to each other. So if you miss a session, you have to catch it up before the next session next week. Otherwise, you will lose track. You will get lost in between, and you will never come back. Okay, you have seen that happen, right? Yeah, like for example, take a player. If he is playing very well, he's in his prime. Sometimes after one or two losses or being absent because of an injury or something like that, he takes time off, and then he comes back and tries to get back in his rhythm. He never comes back to his rhythm. That happens. Okay, so maybe you also have that only one prime, one chance. So if you miss that, you will lose control, you will lose the rhythm, and then you might never come back to the old rhythm again. Okay, so be very careful if you are missing any classes. Your A pass is in danger if you are targeting an A pass. That every single day that you are missing this class, like it's like you are losing about 5 marks every single day. Okay, so you miss 2 classes, it's like 10 marks. Yeah, you're missing like almost like 10 marks or more than that. Okay, if it is a target unit, you might lose like 12, 13 marks. Okay, yeah, exactly, like up to 12 marks. Okay, I will tell you how. Right, okay, if it is a target unit, you miss a target unit, you miss like 10 marks out of the paper. So your A pass is in big danger. Okay, if you miss a class, so don't miss classes. I know your weddings, your parties, your birthday parties, and your tea time gatherings and family gatherings, and a lot of stuff. They can wait, Pude, okay? You can tell bye to those things in the next 5 months, because we can't afford to like miss classes and go to those, okay? That is not recommended at all, right? Okay, yeah, you can skip those, right? And we will have our parents meeting next week, because I was waiting until the new students also join to keep the parents meeting. So before 10th next month, we are going to have our first parents meeting. We normally have two parents meetings every year, and the first parents meeting is to basically help the parents understand how to support you, and the second parents meeting is after we have our mock exam and after the results are announced, so the parents know what areas to focus on in order to get you a pass guaranteed. Okay, so if you are in a B level, how to get you to an A level, right, like that. Okay, so you will understand these sessions and everything better when we conduct them. Okay, so that is on one side. So before 10th, I will give you the date. Before 10th we will have our parents meeting, okay, sometime around next week. Hopefully it's gonna be Thursday or Friday next week. Yeah, before the next class, hopefully we'll try to have that. Okay, right, based on the new number of students who are joining and everything, I will finalize the date. Okay, right. And yeah, so the classes are recorded like I said. Okay, and then all the material in the class, Pute, will be uploaded in the Google Drive. Okay, and I will create a new folder for you all. Let me share the Google Drive with you so you familiarize yourself, especially the new joiners. I have seen that you have not gotten familiar with the Google Drive yet. So let me just help you with this. Okay, and then we will have a, see, I'm making it now itself, and so I have a new folder created for revision and paper class. So all the stuff related to this class will be in this folder from here on. Okay, revision and paper class. Okay, right. And then this is even though you join the revision and paper class, you will get access to all the previous recordings of our class, of our theory class as well. That is the benefit of joining our class. You get access to everything, and you can like actually really start to work very hard. Okay, and then we have this folder to dedicated to our revision and paper class, this class. Okay, so all the material, all the target papers, target questions that we discuss, and all the recordings of the sessions in this class will go inside this folder. Okay, and then your Zoom link, Zoom links are not shared in groups. Only today I shared it in the group because it is a seminar, it is a free seminar. That is why I shared the link in the group. So normally all the links are monthly links, and they will be inside this folder. Okay, now we have started the revision and paper class, so the Zoom link will be inside this folder. Okay, yeah, okay. So what I will do is I will put all these other stuff into one folder. That is going to be your theory class. Okay, old folder, and this will be your current folder. Okay, everybody understand over there? Everybody got it? So you can access the Google Drive through the second link in the group description. Once you have been added to the group, the first link of the group is the registration form, group description, and the second link in the group description is the access link to the Google Drive, where you can access all the tutes and recordings and the Zoom links for this class. Okay, and also you need to have a Zoom account in order to log into this class. Okay, today you might not have noticed it, but yeah, because I changed the settings for today's class, but you need to log into Zoom before you can log into the class. Okay, so how do you create a Zoom account? Very simple. You download the Zoom app and sign in. So when you click sign in, they will ask you to create a Zoom account. You can use your Gmail address to create a Zoom account. Simple as that. Okay, that is because we want only confirmed authenticated users to log into the class. We don't want any strangers logging into this class and making disturbances. Okay, so we don't want those things moving forward, because this is a serious class. At the same time, we relax, we know how to learn, we know how to enjoy the sessions, but at the same time, when it comes to security and discipline, I'm very serious. Okay, yeah, I'm very serious. I understand, there are no like room to play around in my class. Okay, yeah, right. I might be a tuition teacher, but I'm a product of free education, and you might call me old school, but yeah, I do everything. Okay, yeah, like, I mean, I went to one of the best schools in the country, and which had a big name for the best discipline also, DS Seranaya College. Even today is considered a school with the best discipline. So I take discipline very seriously in my class. Okay, I want all of you to follow that, because that reflects the high standard that we follow in the class. Okay, our class is based out of two values: trust and respect. Okay, so you trust me, I trust you. Yeah, and then respect, and that is the basis of history as well. Why we are learning history is because of the respect, because we basically learn to respect. We learn to respect our past, we learn to respect each other, we learn to respect each other's cultures, we respect to each other's religions, opinions, point of views, ideas. That is the whole point of learning history, learning how to respect. So respect and trust are the core values of this class. Okay, right. So I just explained you how the class works. Anybody have any question about the class? Yeah. Fees, Pude, you contact me personally. I don't discuss fees and everything in the class live. Okay. And I appreciate if your parents can discuss about the fees as well, because that is something that me and your parents will have communication with. Yeah, or normally, yeah, or in a personal level. Okay, yeah. And okay, any other questions in the chat box? That's it about the chat box. I don't have any more questions. Anybody have any questions about how the class works today? Everybody okay? Right. I will take it as a yes. Okay. All right. So now we will go into our targets. Okay. We are going to set our targets for this year. All right. We have, over the past many months, we have set our goals. We have discussed, many things in the class. I will share with you all the recordings with the new joiners as well. For example, we have had many sessions on how to set your study plan for O levels, how to gradually, set a study plan so that you can cover the whole syllabus within a stipulated time. We have discussed, we have had sessions like this: how to identify your learning style, and how to make short notes, how to make mind maps to understand and remember things better, how to make short notes and save tons of time. We have had those sessions, okay, in our class. I will share with you the newcomers. I will give you the special sessions links like this. Okay, and today is another special session. Of course, today is a very special day, and today I would like to take the opportunity to set our goals in the paper, and to understand the structure of the paper, and to set our targets in the paper, so that we can go for that A pass. Okay, so we are going to focus, like, I mean, today, like the first 2 hours, normally 1.5 hours to 2 hours, we'll focus on that, and then we will start on to the theory parts on the unit number 1 from grade 10. Okay, I will come to that later, right? So right now let's focus on the paper, and what is the structure of the paper, and how to set our goals, and how many marks we should target in order to get that A pass. Okay, so that is our first goal. So I explain you the rules and regulations and timings and everything in the class. Now it's time to get get into some serious business. Okay, yeah, all right. So the history paper, Pute, it is a two-part paper. So there's part 1. 33 is the number that is given by the education, exams, Department of Examinations. That is a code number, right? Then it will tell E is for English medium. So 33E1 means your first paper, which is the MCQ paper. Right? What is the duration of your MCQ paper, Pute? 1 hour. How many marks you're going to get in this MCQ paper? Anybody? How many marks?
40 marks.
40.
80 marks. Okay, 80 marks. Right. Then we have the second paper, Pute. It's called 33E2, and this is called the written paper. Okay, written paper. Written paper. And what is the duration of this paper, Pute? 3 hours. Yeah. You get extra 10 minutes, Pute. That is because the old school guys in the country thinks that you are very bad at managing time. When I was a kid, when I did my O levels 22 years ago in 2003, I did my O levels 22 years ago. Yeah. We did not have this 10 minutes extra time because those days, Bude, our those who are head in the maybe the Department of Examination, they trusted on us. They trusted on our reading ability. They knew that we can manage time better. We can manage everything within 3 hours. We can read the paper, we can select the questions, and we can answer the paper within 3 hours. Now, Pute, recently they have recognized that like the new generation, okay, like you, are very poor in reading and understanding. Okay, and that is why they are giving you 10 minutes extra. Okay, that is not a bathroom break. So 10 minutes extra to read the paper, understand the paper, and select the questions. How crazy is that? I mean, how lucky you are, right? In a way, oh, how, like, okay, I am 38 years old, right? And like it's a very good time in my life that I'm spending right now. Because this is the middle age. I'm approaching the middle age, I would say. So this is a very good age. I see many things that others don't see. I see the mistakes that my previous generation did. My dad, my granddad, or my previous generation. Yeah. What are the mistakes that they did? I see that. I learn from it. And I also see the stupidity of the young generation, right? How stupid they are. We can only laugh sometimes. I mean, really? Okay. So we will talk about it with your parents and everything, how to support you and everything. So the thing is, maybe the people who are making the paper are thinking that you are very poor in reading and you are very poor in managing time. Okay, so they have become lenient on you, right? So we didn't have extra time like this, but you have. So make use of it. What we do in the history paper, Pute, my students, this 10 minutes, Pute, we can have a good nap. We can have a good nap because we are going to finish it in 3 hours. Okay, right. All right. So here we go. 10 minutes extra to read, understand, and pick the questions that you are going to answer. Okay. But anyway, technically, the paper is 3 hours and 10 minutes extra to read the paper and pick the questions that you are planning to answer. And the paper carries a total number of 120 marks. Okay, so what is the total number over here now? 80 plus 120, it becomes 200. Okay, so what you do is here you count all the marks and divide it by 2 and then bring it as a percentage. Okay, bring it as a percentage, right? So this is how the marks are calculated in your history paper. Any questions? Any questions? No? Right. Okay. So how many MCQs in this paper, Uday? We have 80 marks. How many MCQs in this paper?
40
40
40
MCQs.
MCQs. So meaning that each MCQ carries a weight of how many marks?
2 marks.
2 marks, right? 40 into 2 becomes 80. So 40 MCQs into 2 marks, 80. Then it goes on to get divided by 2 later. Okay. So what we need to focus here is out of these 40 MCQs, Pute, we have to get 30 right if you want that A pass. That is the target. The first target is set now. So 30 out of 40 should be correct. Okay. If you score less than 30, you are in trouble, Pute. Your A pass is in danger, big danger. So your target should be, if you are scoring 25, or 22, 23, 26, like this, your target should be to reach that 30 and try to go beyond that. Okay, let me tell you a simple example. Our students who are working really hard in this class, they can score 35 game easily. They will score 35. Last time we had several students scoring 38s and 40s also. 40 out of 40 පුතේ. 40න් 40යි. 40 out of, we have several students. I can give you the names. Several students scored 40 out of 40. Several students 36, 35, 38. So that is because we set our targets. We know where we are going. First of all, we need to know where we are going. We need to set our targets if you want to achieve something. So if we are falling below 30, our A passes will be in danger because we need 75 out of 100 for an A pass. Yeah. So if we are already losing 10 marks here and we can afford to lose only 15 more marks in the second paper to still get that A pass. So the minimum target is 30 out of 40, and always try to score more than 30. 30 should be your minimum goal. If you are not there yet, work towards that. Okay, read all our tutors. Read all the tutors from the beginning. You will automatically score 30 out of 40. That is the gimmick that I'm giving you now. Read all the tutors from the beginning to the end. All the tutors, all the 18 tutors. 30 game right? Okay, trust me, trust the process. Okay, this works. Yeah, all right. Now let's take a look at the second paper. Okay, second paper. So everybody clear with the MCQ targets? What should be your target? 30 out of 40 minimum. And what should be your target as my student? 35. 35 should be your target as my student, as a student of the class of kings. Average student 30. We score 35. Like, we are hitting the, it's like the last nail on the coffin, right? Like, guaranteed. 35 ගහුවා කියන්නේ පුතේ, your A pass, like, you are just getting one step closer to that A pass only. Yeah. 30 means pude, still depending on how you perform in your second paper, you might fall in trouble still, but 30 minimum must. And if you can score 35, nobody can deny you that A pass. Yeah, because you are only losing 5 marks there, and you can afford to lose 20 marks in the second paper also, right? Okay, so now let's take a look at the paper, one of the papers. Let's take a look at the 2024's paper to understand the structure of the second paper. Okay, so that is the whole point today, right? To teach you how to set our targets, and then we start working on those targets. Yeah, this is what we are going to do. One second. Can you all see the paper, Pute? 2024's paper?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We can
Yes.
actually share this paper now because the results are out. Until the results are out, it is illegal to share or discuss the paper anywhere. So, yeah, publicly. Okay. All right. So, here's the first paper. The first paper, like I said, simple as that. Like this says, there are 40 questions, and it says, look at this. It says, pick one of the alternatives which is correct or most appropriate. Okay, focus on this one. So, which some answers can be correct, the other 3 answers can be wrong. There's only one correct answer. So, you have to pick the correct answer. Or sometimes all the 4 answers are correct. Okay, there can be instances. This is O levels, it's a competitive exam. Around 400,000 students take this exam every year, and 260,000 students pass this exam and qualify for A levels. Still, many students, more than 100,000 students, fail the exam, meaning that this is a standard exam, it's a competitive exam. This exam can decide your future, what subjects you are going to take in your A levels, what path you're going to go forward in your life. This will be the milestone, okay, which decides that. So take this exam seriously. And this asks which is correct or which is most appropriate. So there will be questions with more than one correct answer. In those cases, you have to select the best answer or the most appropriate answer or the strongest answer out of those correct answers. Okay, the answer that makes most sense. Yeah, right. So that's a small tip on the first paper. There are more things that are coming in the coming months, in the coming weeks, right? Oops. Didn't I save that? The other one. One second. So this is the second paper. Okay. Can you all see? Confirm?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, right? All right. Thanks. Okay. So in the second paper, this says, like I said before, 33E2, and it says additional reading time 10 minutes. And technically, the duration of this paper is 3 hours. Yeah, it never says 3 hours and 10 minutes, but it gives you a 10 minutes extra reading time, additional reading time. Who on earth gives you like this, right? I mean, because they think you are stupid or what? Yeah, I mean, if I'm making the paper, I won't be giving. You got to manage your time, right? Okay. So here we go. This paper carries a total number of 120 marks. Okay. So our target is to get 90 minimum out of that 120. Okay, 90 minimum. So 90 marks out of 120. That is our target in this one. Okay. So in the first paper, the targets are set minimum 30 out of 40 or minimum 60 out of 80. Okay, 60 out of 80, 30 out of 40 becomes 60 out of 80, right? Plus 90 out of 20. If you simplify, you get 75 out of 100. That is the minimum goal. Okay, there's no maximum that you can go. You can go up to 120, right? Yeah, that's the maximum that you can go, right? 100 out of 100. But our target is the minimum. Like, you know, we got to set our targets. This is the minimum that you are looking to achieve. So if you are below 30 in your MCQs, focus on achieving 30, and in the last 2 months, let's focus on getting to that 35. Okay. And if you are below this 90 in the second paper, let's go for that 90 first, and let's go to that 100 in the next few months. Okay, that is your goal. Okay, right. So I want to show you the paper itself to understand the structure better. So let's go through the paper and let's set our targets here. Okay, right. So over there, the paper has 3 parts. Part 1, 2 and 3. So this is part 1 here, part 2 and part 3. Part 1 has only one question, Pute. Here's part 1. It has only one question here. And that question is compulsory. There's no running away from it. There's no denying it. There's no skipping it. What will happen if you skip? You can still skip. What will happen if you skip? You lose marks. You can skip the exam also, no, Pute? You can stay at home without going to the history paper also. If you are really scared to face it, you can also stay at home. You can skip the whole O-levels also. You can do something else also, right? But there will be consequences. Yeah, there will be consequences. मैं O-level मत कर लेना. Yeah, this is what the people would say, right? Okay. So here we go. We can't deny this. We can't skip this. Okay. Part 1 has only one question. It is compulsory. You must answer it. And this carries a total number of how many marks, if you remember? 30 marks. So part 1, question 1, 30 marks. How many marks in total for this second paper? I told you.
120.
120 marks. So out of this 120, out of this 120, 30 marks is just from one question. You got to understand the importance of the first question. 25% of the second paper is the first question. And if you cannot answer the first question properly, you are done. Yeah, you are done. You are not getting that A pass. Okay. So our target is to score a minimum of 24 marks out of this 30. 24 minimum. Okay, 24. Anything about 22, I will take it. But let's go for 24, which is recommended. We will set our goals today. Okay, don't worry. Yeah. So 22 to 24. Anything about 22, I will take it. But 24 is ideal, which will guarantee our A pass. So the first question done. That is our target. Everybody should have these targets in mind. If you are falling short in your school exams or in our class mock exams, you must focus on those areas and you must improve every day. You must understand and identify your weak areas and work on those areas. Okay, that is why we are discussing these things, to set our goals. Without the targets, how can we achieve them? Without setting the targets, that is the problem that the young generation have today. You don't have targets and you don't know how to get to those targets. You look at targets set by someone else. You look at the targets achieved by somebody and you don't know exactly how they achieved it, and you think that you can automatically achieve them. You understand what I'm saying, right? Rings a bell, right? When I'm saying this, that is a problem. When we were kids, we set our targets. We broke down those targets into small steps. Okay, this month I'm going to do this. Next month I'm going to do this. Next day I'm going to do this. Like this. Okay, like this. So I'm not criticizing, but we need to identify each and every generation's strengths and weaknesses. Yeah. Your strength is you are very good in technology. You know how to use the phone, or you are good in computer. Of course, because you grew up with those technologies. Yeah. You are better in handling tech gadgets than your older generation. But when it comes to setting goals, focusing, sitting in one place and working hard in achieving a big goal for a few months, you fail in it. You like instant results, like Maggi noodles. Yeah. You everything you want quick, right? Like, let's say if the phone gets stuck, for example, you get really frustrated, right? I mean, we worked with Pentium 1 computers. Okay. 260 megahertz speed. Yeah. Right. So today you have 2.6 gigahertz speed computers, and when we click, we have to wait for 10-15 seconds until something opens up, maybe 1 minute. Okay. But you are not ready to do that. You are not patient, but you got to be patient. Okay. Patience is a virtue, right? That is how you achieve goals. You got to break down the goals, you got to set your targets, and you got to achieve them one by one step at a time. Don't think about what's going to happen in 5 years, but have a plan for that. Okay. Right. Okay. First question. So let's get into details. Okay. Yeah. So the first question, Pute, has two parts mainly, right? You can see A, subpart A and subpart B. So this is the main question here. Question number 1. Total number of marks is 30. Subpart A and subpart B. There are two subparts in this. Subpart A has two subparts, Roman 1 and Roman 2. You can see subpart B also has two subparts, Roman 1 and Roman 2. Yeah. So subpart A is very important because it has map marking in it. So subpart A is totally map marking in the question number 1. Question number 1 is compulsory. There's no running away from it. Subpart A is map marking, and subpart or Roman 1 and Roman 2 under the map marking section is Sri Lankan map and world map respectively. Okay, Sri Lankan map and world map. So you will be given two maps and you will be asked to mark 18 places in total from those two maps, and you will get a total number of 18 marks for this. Okay, 12 plus 6. So there will be 12 places from the Sri Lankan map. Roman 1 is for Sri Lankan map, SL map. Roman 2 is for world map. Actually, you are not getting the world map. You are only getting a part of the world map. Again, that has become easier for you. We used to get the whole world map back in the day. So here, everything is easy for you. Yeah, it's a matter of you scoring now, right? Nothing else. Okay, so here we have 12 marks dedicated for the Sri Lankan map. 12 places, 12 marks, 1 mark each. Here we have 6 marks dedicated for the world map, 6 places, 6 marks, altogether 18 marks. Okay, 18 marks. So our target here is to score a minimum of 9 places correct out of the 12 marks in the Sri Lankan map, a minimum of 5 places out of 6 in the world map. This is our target. This is our target. So what is the total? our target for the map marking section is to score 14 out of 18. Everybody understand?
Yes.
Yeah. 14 out of 18 is the target. Okay. 14 out of 18, which is very much doable. Because I'm going to teach you, we're going to have a special seminar also for map marking, like, 1 month before the exam. That's a different story. And we have a lot of map marking sessions done in the exam, done in the class. I'm going to give you all the recordings. I'm going to give you the plan to cover up all those places as well. And in the revision and paper class, when the time permits, we are going to tap into those map marking sessions once again as the time permits. And of course, with the map marking seminar, we are going to basically, hit the last nail in the coffin. Don't worry about it. And you might be wondering how 5 out of 6 looks very big target. 9 out of 12 also looks like a very big target, which is very much doable. Very much doable. 5 out of 6, no, actually we can do 6 out of 6. I put 5 out of 6 thinking that there will be one place coming out of the syllabus. Other than that, we must be able to do this. Okay, we can do this. We have done this before, right? I'm never telling you something that we have not done before. So all these things that all the targets that I'm explaining you today are things that we have achieved before. Of course, look at our results. That is how we can prove it. Okay, so 14 out of 18 is our target for this one. Okay, 14 out of 18. Yeah, for the map marking section, right? And then in part B, in subpart B, Pute, so everybody, I believe, understand. If you have any questions, please ask. We set the targets first before we get into serious stuff. Today's seminar is all about that, mainly. Right. So in subpart B, Pute, we have two subparts, Roman 1 and Roman 2. Sorry, there's Roman 3 also. Yeah, my bad. Right. Okay, so here we have in subpart 1 under B, we have 4 short questions. These 4 questions will be general questions covering the whole syllabus, like, random questions. These are called random questions. So there will be 4 short questions which will need you to give short answers. These are word answers. Okay, word answers, right? Say example A, what is the simple machine used to make clay pots in ancient times? Potter's wheel, Sakaporu. Yeah, potter's wheel. So simple words as answers. Who was the first king of Anuradhapura kingdom? King Pandukabe. Now see, there are no connection between those questions. They are random questions here and there, right? Who invented the first printing machine? Anybody? Remember?
Gutenberg.
Johannes Gutenberg. Yeah. What was the passenger ship which was sunk by a German submarine during World War #1?
Lusitania.
Lusitania.
Lusitania. Yeah, not Titanic. Okay. Yeah, Lusitania. Right. So ship Lusitania, or we can say Lusitania. That's enough. So these are questions that are spanning over many units. And if you have a general idea about the whole syllabus, you can score maximum here. Okay. And if you don't have, like if you have not covered certain units, you might fall short. So that is why it's important to cover the whole syllabus, because you don't lose any important marks like this, because these are compulsory questions, right? This is part of the first question. You can't skip this. If you skip, you lose marks. So that is why it's very important to read all the tutes, especially to cover the full syllabus, because I know most of you are very, very lazy to read the whole textbook. That is why we have made a full set of tutes. But we cannot cover everything in the textbook in the tutes. So at least, your target should be to read the textbook at least once. Okay. Yeah. And get some notes. Whatever we can't cover in the tutes, you have to get it through the textbook. Yeah. Right. Okay. So here we have 4 marks for this. So our target is to score 3 out of 4. I don't want you to score 4 out of 4. Let's be realistic here. So let's go 3 out of 4. Okay, let's go 3 out of 4. Now how many we scored already? 14 out of 18 we scored for map marking. So here we have 3 out of 4, right? Okay, and then here Roman 2 and 3, these are called pictures. So there are roughly 100 pictures that you have to remember, and there will be 2 pictures coming in this, and there will be few questions asked from those pictures. So that is a picture question or figure related questions. So 4 questions from each figure, and these figures are very random. Okay, it's very difficult to like target these figures. This figure will come this way, and that figure will come this year. It's very difficult. So don't always like don't rely or don't depend on what others are saying when it comes to figure or make ANOVA. Some people will say, okay, some seminars also will say, some students also, your friends also might say make ANOVA neda, may picture ANOVA neda. Let them give any picture, because we are going to cover all the 100 pictures in the class. Okay, right? Let them give you anything and you will be ready for this, right? Okay, so there are roughly about 100 pictures, about 55 in grade 10, about 45 in grade 11, altogether about 100 pictures. And you got to have a general idea about all the 100 pictures to answer these 2 questions, which are compulsory questions. Okay, so again I'm telling you, we are very realistic in setting our goals, setting our targets, and I want to set 3 marks out of 4 for each figure. Okay, we will go 3 out of 4. That is our goal, right? So here we have 9 out of 12. Little bit of fractions for you, right? 14 out of 18. Okay, how many marks out of 30? We have 23. Yes, correct. So our target is 24. Like 24 is a very good recommended level, but like I said before, anything above 22 I will take it. So here, based on this, we can go for 23, which is a very good target. Okay, and let's say here and there you are very good in one figure and you can score 4 out of 4. Fine, you have that 24 there. So your target should be like this. Okay, so this is the minimum, 23 out of 30, and that's gonna be it. Okay, so we will be in a very strong position from the first question itself. Everybody understand the targets for the first question, Budhe, and the importance of the first question. First question is the biggest question also. Like, I mean, the answers are not long, but there are so many parts in it. Everybody got it, no, Budhe?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay, right?
sir.
Right. Okay. Let's go for a 5 minutes break, and we'll be back with the second part, part number 2, right? Part number 2 and part number 3, part 3 and part 2. So the first part, our goal is clear. 24 out of 30 is the target. 22 and above is very good. Yeah, we will go with that. Okay. MCQ 30 out of 40 is the minimum that we are focusing on. Okay. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah.
Anna, I can explain. First, what does this look like?
All right, welcome back. So we will continue, Pute. Pute, keep your mics muted, okay? Yeah, especially when I'm talking, if there's any unnecessary, like, disturbances, I might remove you from the meeting, yeah? That's a warning, yes? If you have your hot mic, so keep them muted, okay? If you have any settings that, like, the mic gets auto unmuted, change those settings, okay? Yeah. Some mics are hot mics, like, when you talk, they get unmuted. So keep them muted all times. Yeah, right. So now we are going to set our plans to the to part 2 and part 3. Yeah, okay. So Pute, let's go back to the basics. Part 2, Pute, is a real deal, yeah, I would say. I mean, part 1, of course, that is the heaviest part. You can't skip it. And we have set our goals in this. And part 2 is the real deal, I would say, because that is where you should play the game very smart. And if you play the game very smart, you're going to get that A pass. Okay, part 2, right? Part 1, of course, it's hard work. You can't play smart in part 1. You don't know, Pute. Yeah, because all questions are compulsory, yes? So if you don't know map marking, you are done. Okay, you are dead. Yes, you are not getting A passes without map marking. Show me a single student who got A passes without map marking. Never, never, because you are definitely going to lose marks in other areas. So map marking, there's no skipping map marking, and there's no playing around with map marking. It's a serious business. So map marking, you have to work hard to understand better. Okay, I can give you like, okay, let's do the cheating part later. Okay, last time I gave. Okay, last time out of the 18 places that came, we discussed 17 places in the map marking seminar. Okay, 17. Only one place we didn't discuss. That also came out of the syllabus. Okay, that is the only place we didn't discuss in our map marking seminar. That's a different thing. Okay, the cheating part, but we will do when the time comes. Okay, but right now let's focus on the hardworking part. Yeah, right. Okay. So part 2, Pute, everybody can see the paper, yes? Okay. Part 2, Pute, you have to answer 4 questions from part 2 and 1 question from part 3. So part 2 has 6 questions in total, and you have to select 4 questions out of it. Okay. So part 1 is compulsory, no running away. And part 2, part 1 has only 1 question, right? Part 1 has only 1 question, and that is called the question number 1. Part 2 has 6 questions starting from question number 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many questions here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 questions here. How many questions you have to select out of these 6 questions? 4 questions. Yes, 4 questions. So you have to be very smart in selecting those 4 questions. And all these questions are structured questions, and they have an essay part of essay component in all these questions. Normally 2 questions in all these questions. In each one of these questions, we have 2 questions which are essay type questions, meaning that you need to write descriptions or explanations in those questions. That is the critical part. That is the serious part that we are talking about. That is the most serious part that you lack, right? Because you don't like, you find it very difficult to gather your thoughts and write. I mean, of course, the essay type questions is where many students are struggling today. That is why maybe, that is one of the main reasons why you came to this class also. Yeah. Okay. So in our class, we train you very well to answer these essay type questions to O-level standards. Okay. And remember this very well. You might be learning a different standard in your school when answering essay type questions. Like I said before, Budhe, let me tell you again. I don't care what you do in your school. You follow what we teach you in this class when writing answers to essay type questions. If you did, you get an A pass. What is the guarantee? Look at our results. Okay? Yeah. Don't play the fool when it comes to essay type questions. Don't follow, trust me, like, I don't like to tell this, but I have to. Don't follow anybody's advice. If you are in this class, don't follow anybody's advice when you are writing answers to essay type questions. Follow my advice, because that is good advice. That works. Okay? Right? This is some serious advice. Okay? Right. So here, coming back to the structure, we have 6 questions and we have to select 4 questions. Okay? Now, let me tell you one very special thing. What if I told you that if you only study the grade 10 syllabus, you can still score very well in the second paper, in the second part of the second paper? Yeah? Shall we take a look at it? Yes. So that is where it's very important for you to study the grade 10 stuff. Most of you forget the grade 10 stuff when you come to grade 11. You think that grade 11 is O levels. Actually, Budhe, 60% of your O levels is grade 10. Only 40% of your O levels is grade 11. And many questions will be coming from grade 10, not only in history, but also in other subjects. Take a simple example of history. You have 10 units in grade 10 and 8 units in grade 11, meaning that there will be less questions from grade 11. Okay, obviously, right? Now let's take a look at these questions. Starting from question number 2. What is the unit, Puthe? Anybody? From which
Grade
unit
10.
is this? Grade 10.
Unit 3, was it? Or 4?
Unit 3. Grade 10, unit number 3. Evolution of political power in Sri Lanka. Third question. Anybody? Grade 10 or 11? Tell me that first. 10. Unit number 4. Grade 10. Okay. So what is the goal here? When you see the question, you must be able to tell the unit, meaning that you have studied the unit. Here, this one some students told, I heard it, I heard you. This one you couldn't tell. I mean, at least most of you. Some stayed silent. I know most of you know, but some of you don't know. Why? Because you didn't study this unit. You were focused on the grade 11 stuff. You ignored the grade 10 stuff. But look at how important grade 10 stuff is. Okay, so 2 questions here from the first 5 units of grade 10. 2 questions here already. Now you understand the importance of the grade 10 syllabus. You think O level is grade 11? Not really. It is 60% grade 10. Okay. So focus on the grade 10. Start from unit number 1, grade 10. Okay. Then you can answer these questions, right? First 5 to 6 units in grade 10. Super important. There's no skipping those units. You must finish all those 5 units within the next month. That should be your goal. Okay. Right. Fourth question. Which unit? From which grade?
Grade 10.
Unit number?
7.
Unit number 7. Yes, right. So part 2, first 3 questions so far from grade 10. Okay, grade 10. Now let's go forward. Okay, how many questions we have to answer in total? How many questions we have to answer in total? 4 questions, right? There are 6 questions in it. We have to answer only 4. Okay, let's go to the 5th question. Let's go to the 5th question. That is from grade 11. Anybody can tell me the unit?
2.
Grade 2.
Yes, correct. Unit 2. Then we go to the next question. All right, okay. So these are all grade 11 stuff. Unit number 3 here, like question number 6 and like this. Okay, so you can see that grade 10, especially the first 5 units are super important because the first 2 questions in the part 2 paper, in part 2 in the second paper will be mostly from the first 5 units of grade 10. So this is where smart work plays a part. Okay, sometimes you work very hard, but if you don't know the smart part of it, like you don't know how to manage the time and you don't know how to focus on the key areas and you don't know how to filter out those strong areas and target areas, and then you might also like fall in trouble. Or you can focus on this paper smart in a smart way, and then you can still score maximum marks with minimum effort. That is what we are looking to achieve, right? We want to put minimum effort and score maximum marks. Yeah. Right. So we have to answer 4 questions out of the 6, right? And then now we will come to this. So I just told you some extra things like on what you needs to focus, and I will tell you what units are target units. When we are discussing each unit, we will tell you whether this is a target unit or not. But whatever we say, like it might be accurate, it might not be accurate. So focus on the full syllabus. I mean, there's no shortcuts, okay, to that. But last time we predicted several questions here in this second paper. I have given same questions also in our mock exam. Same questions that we gave in the mock exam also repeated in the exam. I can give you a comparison. But your mock exam, I'm gonna try and do better this time than the previous time. And several target questions, several target units that we had focused on actually came, right? So that is my part, that is my duty to predict the paper, to predict the target units properly and target questions if possible, right? That is my part. I will do my job when it comes to that. But your job is, Pute, to focus on the syllabus, study hard, and be a little smart when picking those questions, because the units that you have covered, there are special units that you must cover. So based on that, you can filter or you can pick those questions in a smart way and score maximum marks, right? That is very, very important for you to remember. Okay, now let's keep our targets like we always do. So we have to answer 4 questions from this part 2, and each question, Pute, carries a total weight of 18 marks. 18 marks. Our goal is to score 14 marks out of this 18. That is our target. 14 out of 18. Okay. Anything above 13, I mean, I would take 13. Fine. I would take 13. Also, it's okay. 14 is much better. Recommended. Okay, right. So let's say, let's target for 14. When you are picking the question, you have to play to your strengths. You have to pick the question where you can score maximum marks. Yeah, all right. So now let's take a look at the general structure of these questions. Now these are structured questions, and normally these questions have 4 parts. Roman 1, 2, 3 and 4, as you can see on screen. Roman 1, 2, 3 and 4. Some questions occasionally can have 5 parts. Okay, no 3 parts. I have never seen a question with 3 parts, but occasionally we have the question with 5 parts, but generally there will only be 4 parts in this question. Okay, so question number 2 in this case will have 4 parts. Okay, has 4 parts. So the first part, Pute, very simple, straightforward questions which requires you to write straightforward answers, very short answers, normally word answers. Okay, so that is why we are giving you 3 marks here for writing 3 answers, which are generally words. So 3 words as answers will give you 3 marks. Okay, 3 words, 3 marks. Yeah, like this. And then the second question will be asking you to write 2 sentences normally. Okay, 2 sentences. So they are sentence answers. They are not word answers. So normally in the second question will be write 2 sentences of 4 words. Okay, sometimes in some questions there will be 4 parts in question number 2. Or some questions they will ask you to write 2 things, 2 reasons, 2 ways in which, in this case, 2 ways in which inheritance to the throne occurred in the past, like this. Okay, so 2 ways means 2 sentences, right? So you can write them. Like in this case, we will discuss those questions. Don't worry, that is the whole point of the paper class, right? We will discuss the answers and all. Here I'm setting the goals. Okay, we are not discussing answers. We are not discussing papers here. So let's not focus on the answers, but how to score in those answers and what they're expecting as answers. Okay, this is the whole point, right? Okay, we are not discussing the lesson here or the question here. So here our goal must be to score all 3, because if you cannot score these 3 marks, don't pick the question. Don't pick this question. You can skip the question, right? So if you don't know the answer to the first question itself, then no point. Meaning that you have not covered the lesson, right? So you are not good in the lesson. So skip it. Play to your strengths. Okay. Then the second question, 2 sentences normally. Then 4 marks. Here also we will look to score 4 marks. Okay, we will look to score 4 marks maximum, right? Like 3 marks is not possible here. Like like when you are writing 2 sentences, 3 marks very occasional. You have to write 2 proper sentences, then you can score all the 4 marks, right? That is our target. Let's say for the margin of error, we will say like you missed 1 here, so 2 marks out of the 3, something like that. 1 margin for error with these 2 questions. So focus on these 2 questions and like very well, and on the other 2 questions also. I will come to that next. But keep your targets very high when it comes to the first 2 questions, because they are not asking you to explain anything, right? They are asking you to write simple words as answers or simple sentences, short answers. And if you cannot answer those, don't pick that question, because meaning that you have not studied the unit. If you haven't studied the unit, it's a very bad idea to pick that question. Okay, so better you study the unit and go to the exam. Okay, right. Then the third question and the fourth question is the magic here. The third and fourth questions, they are called essay type questions, which asks you to explain or describe something in detail, not short answers. So short answers in a point form, a couple of sentences doesn't work here. You have to write paragraphs to explain these things that they're asking. Okay, so these 2 questions, Roman 3 and Roman 4, carry the maximum number of marks in the question, 5 marks and 6 marks respectively. Okay, so 3 marks plus 4 marks, that is 7, plus 5 and 6, it is 11. That counts to 18 marks total for the question. That is how the 18 marks are coming here. So your target should be to score maximum out of these first 2 questions. Maximum, let's go for maximum. Okay, and then here out of the 5 marks question, let's try to go for 4 out of 5. Let's try our best to go for 4 out of 5. And in the fourth question, let's go for 4 out of 6. I'm bringing the threshold down a little bit here. Okay, it's fine, right? So then you have margin for error here as well. Okay, you have a margin for error here. So this way we can go for 14 out of 18, even with 1 mistake in these 2 answers, right? Let's say 1 mistake, you did 1 mistake. So 2 here, you scored 4 here, you scored 4 here, you scored 4 here. So that is 14 here, right? 14 marks. So 14 out of 18, let's go for that. If you feel like you cannot score 14 out of 18, do not pick that question. Skip that question, go for another question. Okay. And if you are lost between two questions, always, let's say for example, am I choosing this question or this question? Let's say you are good in both the units and you don't know which one to pick. You are good in both, you are confident in both. Then always weigh your options with the essay questions. What essay questions that you can explain the best? So you are good with both the units, but you can pick only one. Let's say, okay, you're good with both the units. I'm okay with anything. ඕන දෙයකට මම ලෑස්ති. දෙකෙන් ඕන එකක්. But then you weigh your options, compare your options. Okay, what about the essay type questions? Can I write more when it comes to the second question, or can I write more when it comes to the third question? Based on that, you pick it. You pick the final. Okay, then you realize, okay, looks like I have studied this unit very well, unit number 3 very well. So I'm going to pick the second question because I have so much points. When I read the question, I remember all these points that I can write in the very long paragraph. So I'm going to pick that question. So based on that, we will play the game smart. Okay. So everybody understand, Pute, 14 out of 18 is the target. And if you cannot score it, if you feel like you are less than or you are falling short of this, don't pick that question. And if you always have to compare two questions, go for the best one based on the essay type question, based on your strength in answering essay type questions. Okay. Always compare the essay type questions because they carry the highest marks. So you cannot afford to lose a lot of marks in essay type questions because there are many essay type questions that you have to write. Okay. So there are total number of 10 essays that you have to write. 10 questions like this, right? Here, 2 here. Like this, you have 8 parts here in part number 2. You have 4 questions. So 4 into 2 is 8. So part number 3 also you have 1 question to answer. That is going to be 2 more essay type questions. So altogether you have 10 essay type questions to answer. Yeah, 10 essay type questions. And you have a total number of 25 paragraphs to write. 25 paragraphs. If you do the math, you can see, right? 10 essay type questions. So here, let's take a simple example, okay? So 10 essay type questions altogether. So here we have 2. So here you look at this word, Pute, describe, meaning that they are asking you to write a description. You write a description in a paragraph, Pute. You don't write descriptions in point form, okay? Yeah. When you become a doctor, you can write prescriptions in point forms, but descriptions, Pute, we don't write in point forms. Descriptions we are writing in paragraph forms, okay? And here this question has the word explain. We don't explain something in point form. We explain something in a paragraph form, okay? We don't write explanations like points. We write explanations in paragraphs. So you have to write a description here. You have to write an explanation here. Both are asking you to write paragraphs. Okay, right. So here describe 2 duties. Describe 2 duties. So 2 descriptions of 2 duties with the ancient kings. So 2 paragraphs. 2 paragraphs with 2 headings. And the 4th question, explain with reference to 3 points the services performed by King Vijayabhu I. 3 paragraphs. 3 paragraphs with 3 headings. So altogether, how many paragraphs? 5 paragraphs, right? 5 paragraphs altogether. So 5 questions like this altogether, 25 paragraphs. So this is serious business, Pute. You have to practice this. Okay. So that is why we have a special group called the work uploading group, where you will write and practice essay type questions and put them or post them in the special group for me to check. And in the coming months, your seniors will volunteers will join our class. Those who got A passes last year, we invite them every year. You know, starting last year, we had a very good team working behind the scenes. The best results that we produce today is also a hard work of our previous, batch who volunteered to help our students as well, like in many things, like in exams, marking papers and stuff like that. So this year also there will be a very strong team of volunteers coming to help you. Yeah. So we can wait for that, right, when the time comes. Okay, right. So I will see, now the class has grown so much, like it's big now, like 100+ students. So like it takes me a few days to check your work, normally, like, you know, up to 1 week. Yeah. So but since the revision and paper class started, I will try my level best to correct your work within 3 to 4 days. Okay, so you can expect me to correct within 3 to 4 days. And feel free to bother me. Okay, if I missed your work or checking your work or something like that, feel free to text me personally. Okay, anytime, right? Anytime in the day. Even if you have any doubts, you can ask me, like even 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock in the night, no problem. Okay, if I'm awake, I will also answer your doubts even in the midnight. Okay, no problem. Yeah, right, even early morning or even in the midnight. So if you have doubts, please ask. If you are studying, when you're studying, you might have doubts and you might need some extra explanations and stuff like that, no problem, you know, I'm ready to help you. Yeah, all right. So that is it, or that is how we set our targets for part 3. Okay, so part 3 is from Sri Lankan history. Remember this very well. Part 3 is from Sri Lankan history, and a huge part of part 2, my bad. Part 2 is from Sri Lankan history, and a huge part of part 2 is from grade 10. Here in this case, half of part 2 is from grade 10. That also a big part of it is from grade 10 first 5 units, right? 2 questions are from the first 5 units. So even if you finish the first 5 units, you can still score how many marks with it? 28 marks, right? 14, let's say you scored 14, right? 14 is our target. So you can score 28 marks just by studying 2 units from grade 10. Remember the importance of the grade 10 stuff here. Okay, right. Now we'll come to part 3. Part 3. So part 3 has 2 questions with a, that is from world history. So you know your syllabus has how many units in total? 18 units. Grade 10 we have 10 units. Grade 11 we have 8 units. Altogether we have 18 units. Out of those 18 units, 14 units are from SL history or Sri Lankan history. 14 units, and 4 units are from world history. Okay, world history. Who can tell me the 4 world history units? Anybody? Tell me just the numbers, that's enough. Let's see who remembers.
Grade 10, Unit 9.
Grade 10, unit number 9, Renaissance or Renaissance in Europe. Yes, very good. World history.
Grade 11, Unit
Grade
number
11,
7 and 8.
Grade 7 and 8.
Grade 11, unit number 1, you forgot? Grade 11, unit number 1, Industrial Revolution. Industrial Revolution didn't happen in Sri Lanka. Industrial Revolution happened in Europe, primarily based out of England. So Industrial Revolution, world history. And grade 11, unit number 7, we have significant revolutions in the world. The American Revolution, the French Revolution, and the Russian Revolution, world history. And unit number 8 from grade 11, World Wars and Conventions, World War number 1 and League of the Nations Union, World War number 2 and United Nations Organization. Those are the stuff that we learned in unit number 8, world history. Okay, world history. So these are the 4 world history units that we have in our syllabus. Everything else is related to Sri Lanka's history. So out of these 4 units, there will be 2 coming in your part number 3 in the second paper. So part 3 is world history. Remember that very well. Part 2 is Sri Lankan history. There will be 6 questions. You have to select only 4 questions out of the 6. Focus on the first 6 units of grade 10. You can score very well in this. Okay. And part 3 is about world history. There will be a total number of how many questions here? You can see that 2 questions. And both these questions will be coming from the 4 units that I just mentioned from world history. Okay. So here in this case, tell me, those who covered the syllabus, tell me. Question number 8, from where it's coming?
From grade 10, unit number 9.
Grade 10, unit number 9.
Very good. Grade 10 unit number 9 is about Renaissance. Question number 9.
Grade
Anybody?
11. Grade 11.
Grade level
Grade 11,
8.
unit number 8.
Last unit.
Grade 11 unit number 8. Very good. Yes. We have our targets for this year as well. When the time comes, I will tell you what units we are targeting. Okay. So here as a general rule, we have 4 units. So you have to select only one unit here. Okay. You have to select only one question here, right? Out of these 2. So again, 14 out of 18 is our target, right? For one of these questions, you have to select only one. Okay. No point answering both. You won't get any marks, extra marks. So you have to select only one. So out of these 4 units, if you study 3 units very well, pick 3 units, pick any 3 units you want, you can still answer one question very well. Okay, so think smart like that. Okay, so study 3 units very, very well. Forget 1 unit totally. Focus on 3 units very well, especially essay type questions and stuff like that. You can answer one of these because one of these are gonna be one of these 3, right? Yeah, so you have to think smart like this. Okay, and then but still, let's say the unit that doesn't come here, the unit that is not covered here will have like up to 3 MCQs in the first paper. So you can't totally ignore all the units like this or make a this is not a target unit, you can forget it. No, it might not come in the second paper, but there might be up to 3 MCQs in the first paper. So 3 MCQs means with 3 marks. 3 marks out of 100, 6 marks out of 200, 3 marks out of 100. 3 marks can be a huge difference. Okay, maybe you scored only 72. All right, total marks. That 3 marks can be your A pass, right? So every mark counts. Every minute counts and every mark counts. So don't, when you have the opportunity, go for it. Don't ignore everything, right? So even though I just told you this, focus on the other unit as well. Have a general idea. At least you must be able to answer a few MCQs from that unit. So I hope everybody understood the structure of the paper. We will, when we are discussing questions, you will understand more about it. This is this is just to give you a general idea about our targets today. So let's now add up all our targets, right? Okay. So what is our target today? 1 second. Okay. So the second paper today, our target. What is our target? 24 marks out of 30 for the first question. Part 1. Part 1's target is this. Part 2, what is the target today? Part 2, 4 questions. How many marks each? 14 into 4. How many marks? 14 into 4. Yeah. All right.
56.
We have 56, right? Yeah, 56. Then we have part 3. What is our target? Part 3 only has 1 question we have to choose, no? So 14 marks. So altogether, what is the total here? 24 plus 54. Sorry, 56 plus 14 is 70. Plus 24, 94. We can score 94 out of 120. So that should be our goal. Our goal is 90. Yes. So we are focusing on 94. That is our target. Minimum 90 is what we need to get. So we have a small margin for error here and there. So based on this plan, we can go for 94 out of 120 here in the second paper. And in the first paper, we already have the numbers 60 out of 80. And we have 94 out of 120. What is the total out of 200? Yeah, 154 out of 200, meaning that we can score 77 marks out of 100. Okay, so that is our A pass here. So if you are falling short, like let's say if you cannot score 30 in the MCQ exam, every time you are losing a mark from these targets, meaning that you are going one step back. Okay, every time you make a mistake in the map marking section or essay type question or whatever it is, if you skip an essay type question, you are losing the whole marks there. You are losing 4 marks that you could have scored there. 4 marks is the target mark, right, for essay questions. So you are losing that, right? So because of that, focus very well on all the lessons that we are going to discuss in the class, and work a little smart. Take your notes, read the tutes. You can score very well in the MCQs, and do the activities. Pute, essay type questions. Pute, there are like I'm sad to say, but there are a few pandityas in the class. Okay, like in all classes there were. So how the pandityas think is that I don't want to practice essay type questions. When I see the question, I know the answer, so I can go to the exam and I can get it done. I'm lazy. This is how the pandityas think. Okay, they don't do any work in the class. They don't post their work in the group, in the work uploading group. I see some students, they never post their work. I don't know what they're doing actually. Maybe they are doing their homework, maybe they are doing their schoolwork, I don't know. But if I see your work in the work uploading group, meaning that I know that you are working and I know that you are on track. Okay, I can correct your mistakes and I can help you become better in writing essay type questions. Especially remember, these essay type questions are not only important in your O-levels. You have many subjects. You have maths, science, singular literature, English literature, commerce. You are doing many subjects. Any subject that you are following doesn't have questions like this. Okay, this is a very unique concept, like writing essay type questions. And this concept, this method of writing is called critical writing. You don't do critical writing in any subjects that you are following right now. You don't do critical writing in science. You don't do critical writing in commerce. You don't do critical writing in literature. You do appreciations, right? In literature, you write appreciations. You don't write critically. You don't write the good and bad. You don't write the advantages and disadvantages. You don't explain some things, some reasons. You don't explain something logically, like explain the reasons for the 1818 revolution or rebellion. Questions like that doesn't appear, where you have to think and put them into words and write critically. This is called critically, thinking about something logically. And this practice will help you in your university. You have assignments when you go to university. You will remember this class when you go to university. It is the training that we give you in writing certain things logically that will later help you in your life, even in your university life. Trust me, because I also have a degree, so I know how this relates to that, right? Because I have done both, right? So yeah, you thank me later, okay, for this. So you can focus. This is a good skill to have, and you need to master this skill. And the only way, let me tell you, the only way to master essay type question writing is to write them and get them checked for feedback. That is the only way that you can improve. If you just write, nobody is checking it, then you don't know whether you have written it properly or not, right? So the best way to practice essay type question writing is to write them, post it in the group and get the feedback, correct your mistakes and do better next time. That is the only way to move forward. Okay. And if you think like if you're overconfident, that I don't need to practice and I know everything and I can do it in the exam, then in the exam, some people struggle, some students struggle. They don't have enough time. They run out of time. They come home and cry. They say, "Velava madhuna." No point blaming others when you are at fault. Okay, there's no point blaming the class or the teacher or someone else for your mistakes, right? You have to do the work. You have to put in the work. And the only way to master essay type question writing is to write as many questions as possible, as many answers as possible, and getting them to check. Yeah, getting those checked by somebody who knows for feedback and correcting your mistakes and improving from there onwards. Okay, yeah. So having said that, we go for a short break. And that's it about the class, and the targets are now set. You know what the target should be. And I will also explain before the break how the class is gonna work. Okay, so let me also, let's take 5 minutes to explain that, and then we'll go for a break and we will start with unit number 1, grade 10. Okay, that is the goal for today. All right. So here's how the class works. This is a 3-hour class. Okay. Now remember this very well. What is the name of our class, Bhute? The name of this class? Revision and paper class. Yeah. So this is not a paper class. Okay. This is a revision plus paper class. Why did I tell that? There's a reason for everything, right? Why did I name this class? Why couldn't I could have named this class as a paper class? Yeah. So still you would have come to this class. Yes. Why did I name this? Tell me if you think. Why did I name it like this? Yeah. Why can't we do the paper class? Okay, in the paper class also we can revise, right? Is it? In the paper class while discussing papers? Okay, all right. Here's the thing, right? Revision means, Pute, revision means, you know, like revising or recalling. Revision means, Pute, here in this class, theory. Okay, theory. Papers means doing papers. And papers have two types of papers. Past papers and target questions. Okay, so this is how the class is gonna work. So that is why I named it the revision and paper class, because I want to discuss theory parts. See, Bhute, one of the biggest misconceptions that people in our country have is that they can do papers and pass exams. You cannot do papers and pass exams. Maybe you can get a C pass. But here in this class, we are not targeting a C plus. We never started a paper class so that you can get a C pass. I want personally, I would love if all my students can get A passes. That's a different story that not everybody can get it, but that's a different story. Okay. Some students, they try really hard, they work really hard, but they still don't get it. That's how it is. Life is like that. But I don't want to discuss only papers in the class. Why? Because history is all about theory. If you don't know the theory, by practicing only papers, you cannot answer questions, because each and every question are different. Just because you answered some past paper questions, you cannot get an A pass for history. It is the same for all subjects. If you don't know the theory parts, you cannot score, right? So if you know the theory parts only, you never did papers, you can still score. That's the beauty of it. So if you know the theory properly, you let them give any paper on a prashna. Then again, if you know the theory, if you have the theory in your head, you can answer any question. A question from 2016 or a question in 2031, right? Ask them to give you the next year's paper also. You can still answer that if you have the theory parts in your head. Okay, that is the beauty of this. So that is why we cannot ignore theory. If you don't know theory, you cannot do papers. What is the point of discussing papers if you don't know theory? So you need to know the basic stuff so that you can understand all the papers. You can answer any paper. So that is why I have named this class, to show you the importance of the theory parts, as the revision plus paper class. There's no papers without theory. Just discussing papers, they are going to give you a different paper this year, and you're going to, like, you know, you're going to mess the whole thing, right? You're going to fall in deep trouble if there's a paper that is totally different from what you did. So what can paper discussion do? You need to understand what are the benefits, right? So the benefit of learning theory is you can answer any question. Okay, you can answer any question. That is the beauty of learning the theory parts. It's the same for maths and science, everything. Maths also, you learn the concepts, you learn the formulas, you learn the concepts. You can apply those concepts and formulas to any problem and solve it, right? Then science also, if you know the theory, you can apply it and understand the question and solve it or write the answer. And what the paper class really does is giving you practice on how to write answers, how to manage your time, and how to basically manage how to know how to write the answer within the stipulated time. That practice, exam practice, That is all you learn from discussing papers, because most of the questions, past papers that we are discussing, they are never going to come, right? They are never going to come again. Yes, there will be different questions this year. So really, you are really focusing. You need to know why you are doing something, right? Before you are doing something. So you have to really learn papers to set your timings. So we will do our papers according to timings. Okay, according to timings. Yeah, we will answer every day. We will answer a couple of questions according to timings, real exam timings. So we will, you know, then whether you can write the answer within this time or not. Then you can improve. You can gradually improve within the next 5 months. We can go for that goals. Okay, so that is the whole point of discussing papers, past papers. Target papers with a target questions, different story. Okay, target question. This time I'm going to give you some real good target questions, very tough questions. Some of them are going to come in the exam as well. Last time also I gave. This time also I will give. I will try my best. There's no guarantee. Okay, there's no guarantee. End of the day, I will 100% give you 3 questions that are going to come in the exam this year. I can't guarantee you that, but I will. Okay, I'm doing this for more than 6 years now. So I know what I'm doing, and I know what questions are going to come also. I mean, not next time, even 2 years after. Yeah, I can guess some, and I will do my best guesses. I will give you some target questions and target units. Okay, focus on this unit, study that and go, and then you're going to get questions from it. We are going to do that. That is the cheating part, actually. We will do that later. Okay, but right now we will focus on revising the important. See, this is a big syllabus. This takes 2 years to learn. So 5 months is very little. So we can't cover all the theory parts. So we will cover the essential parts, very important theory parts, before we get into papers. Every day we will focus on the important theory parts every day from each unit before we get into the paper discussions. So papers, like I said, we will discuss past papers and target papers. Target papers, some of them I will reserve to our for our final exam. Okay, right. Okay, now that is how the class is going to work. So every day we will discuss, like 1 hour to 1.5 hours, we will discuss the essential theory parts from that lesson, and then the next 1 hour, 1.5 hours to 2 hours, we will do the papers from that unit. Okay, so that is how the breakdown of the class is going to work. And then I want to do one thing. Okay, that is, okay, the class will settle in the next couple of weeks. Then we will have a gradual pattern in the class. You will understand that. Give like a couple of weeks for the class to settle, right, to fall in rhythm. Then you will catch up. Okay, don't worry. And but I want you to read the tute before coming to class every day. This is very, very important, because when you have read the tute, you know the theory parts. You know what we are discussing, and they will only make it better for you to understand those. And then you can easily answer the questions that we are going to discuss in the class. So read the tute of that particular lesson that we are planning to discuss on that particular day before coming to the class. Don't come to the class if you have not read the tute. Okay, don't come to the class. And I might ask questions pointing at students randomly. So because of that, you better read the tute and come to the class. Okay, this is a working class. Yeah. So this is a, like I said, this is an A club. Okay, yeah, class of kings for a reason. Okay, so that is that. All right, then I hope everybody understands the concept, how the class is going to work. Then 2 more things, 3 more things actually. First thing, September, 2nd week, we have an MCQ exam. This MCQ exam is a mock exam. This will be very similar to an O-level standard exam. Not very similar, I would say much higher standard than the O-level exam. This is a very tough MCQ exam. We are going to have this, why? To test your level. I want to see where you stand, right? What is our target? 30 out of 40. Let's see how many of you are going to beat this target. Let's see where you stand. Okay, now you know. We are going to have this MCQ exam not next week, the week after that, from the full syllabus. Let's see how many things you remember from the full syllabus. No problem. Don't worry about anything. Okay, don't be scared. New joiners, especially who have no idea about the syllabus. You just answer to the best you can, no problem. And let's gradually catch up the units later. But here, this will give you an idea, right? Let's say you scored only 15 out of 40. Now you know, okay, these are the units, these are the questions that I couldn't answer, these are the units that I should focus on. And this is how I can get to that 30. Yeah? You understand. So if you score 25, you know there's a little hard work for you to do to get that 30. If you are scoring 35, you know you are already in a good position and you can continue to work hard and maintain that, not falling below from it. Okay. So that is the whole point of having this MCQ exam, to show you where you really are in terms of the MCQ exam. Okay. Then we have a final exam, that is a mock exam. So unfortunately this year we can't cover the full syllabus before the mock exam. So we are planning to have this in November, last week of November, third week of November, third week. And we will cover as many units as we can before this target paper, a real target mock exam. And there will be some questions in this where we didn't discuss in the class. No problem, you play smart. Like I said, you pick your questions wisely. And if you have already studied the unit, no problem, go forward with that. But this is a full paper, okay, 3 plus 1 hour paper, right? 3 hours and 10 minutes, yes, okay. And these exams will be invigilated. You can log in online and you can switch on your videos if you like, and there's no like we don't force people to switch on their videos, but if you want real-time experience, you can do that. We will have our seniors to invigilate you all, and if you need any help related to procedures, they are ready to help you, because they just took the exam this year. They are very experienced when it comes to the exam environment, right? So this will be a real experience for you all. And from attaching the paper, how to attach the paper, and like everything, we will be training you on that. Okay, so this is a real O-level simulation exam. Okay, so we are going to have it November 3rd week, and by December 1st week, we are going to announce the results. And you still have like, January, February, you have like 2 months, to fix your mistakes and get back on track. Okay, so that is the whole point of having this exam 2 months before your real O-level exam, to allow you, to give you some time to prepare and fix your mistakes and bounce back strong. So let me tell you a few cases. This year, we had students who scored 70 who got A passes. 70 in the mock exam in the class, they fixed their mistakes and went on to get A passes. I also have a few students who got 50s who got A passes. So they understood the weak areas. From 50 marks in our mock exam, they went on to get A passes. I can give you the names. And I have a couple of students who got 40s, 42, 43 like this. They also went on to get A passes. So that's the whole point of this mock exam. That's the beauty of this mock exam. I will show you where you really are when it comes to O-levels. And then you fix your mistakes, you identify your weak areas, regroup, replenish, bounce back strong within 2 months. So that's the whole point of the mock exam. So don't be scared of the exams. These are serious exams which will be conducted to proper standards, and proper standard papers will be given to them, not like your school exams. Right? Very easy questions. Don't expect easy questions. Yeah, they will be tougher than your O-level questions, because I want you to go to your O-levels and tell that the paper is easy. Okay, in the class we did a harder paper, and O-level seems like a piece of cake. That is what I want to hear from you. That is the whole point of giving you tough exams like this. So be ready for those 2 exams. And then comes the wonders. 2 seminars. That is the final leg of this class. We have, the seminar is a serious business in our class. So we have 2 seminars. The first seminar is called the map marking seminar. This will be a 2-day camp. Saturday and Sunday, full day, like 6 hours, 7 hours per day. Okay, 2-day camp. Map marking seminar, that is the first seminar. We will teach you all the places in map marking. Like I said last time, we discussed 17 places out of 18 places in the map marking seminar. And in the second seminar is the final seminar. Final seminar. Final seminar is where we will discuss another final paper, final target paper, and we will revise all the important units or the target units. We will revise important areas from it. This will be a 2-day camp as well. 2-day camp with a paper discussion, right? And that is gonna be it. So then you will be ready for your exams. Everybody understand our plan now? Yeah. And the figures we will discuss in between, and map marking also we will discuss in between, but we are totally focused on the map marking seminar to get a final, you know, like boost to our map marking area, right? To strengthen our map marking area. So that's it about like how the plan of the class is, right? Any questions before we go to a break? And we are going to start unit number 1, a little bit of unit number 1 today. We can't finish it, and next week we will finish it, and then we will get into papers from it. And I want to focus a little more on unit number 1 because it is a target unit this year. So the first question, I believe, okay, the first question, I believe, this time in your part 2, this one, this question, you all can see the screen, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you know this question, Putay? Yeah, this question this time in 2025 O levels. This will be from unit number 1. My gut feeling. That's my gut feeling. That's the target unit. So this time is like last time is unit number 3. This is unit number 3, right? From grade 10. This time unit number 1. Yeah. So unit number 1, we got to focus fully. We got to be ready to score 18 marks out of 18. Let's go for this. At least we end up in 14, right? Aim the stars. At least, you know, you hit the stone like coconut tree high. Yeah, at least. Yeah. Polgahata Tadini. Aim the stars. Yes. Okay. So let's go for this. Okay. And this one I feel like from unit number 2. Gut feeling. Yeah. All right. So we will be focusing a little more on unit number 1 and 2 this year, right? We will be ready. I will give you the predictions, target questions. We will go for that later. Right now, let's focus on the important theory parts. Get the theory into our heads so that we can answer any type of question. We'll be back in 10 minutes for a quick introduction of unit number 1 from grade 10. We will continue the theory parts of grade 10 unit number 1 next week before we get into papers. Okay? Yeah. Any questions? Everybody okay about the plan? Anybody want to know anything extra, like any other things than we discussed about the class, about the paper, or anything? Yeah. Any help you need? Any advice? Anything? Please ask. Okay. You can drop me a chat message also. Recording will be uploaded today. Yes. Thanks for your message. For the essay type questions with 6 marks, should we write an introduction and a conclusion too? No, you don't have to write introductions and conclusions, because these are the, you know, you have to write essays in your Sinhala paper and in your English paper. They only have essays. These are called essay type questions. Okay. So you don't have to waste your time because if it is an essay, Pute, they will give you a word count. 200 words, 250 words like this. So here, have you ever seen like they are asking you to write a specific number of words? No, right? No, because that is not essays. So you don't have to write essays. An essay will have 3 parts: introduction, body, and conclusion. Yeah, introduction, body, and the conclusion. That is your essays in your Sinhala paper and your English paper. Okay. So here in history paper, you don't have to write introductions and conclusions. You only have the body part, straight to the point, and you will write the paragraphs. You will put the headings and you will write the paragraphs. I will train you how to write those when the time comes. Okay, yeah, don't worry. When we discuss, we will do that. Okay. If we focus more on grade 10, can we score half marks in O levels? Yeah, literally yes. But you want to score half and get a C pass, or you want to get an A pass? Focus on both, but like play the game a little smart. That is what I'm asking you to do. Okay, I'm not asking you to ignore anything or everything. What I'm asking you to do, the whole point of telling you these important gimmicks is that you learn how to work smart. So I showed you with an example that if you focus on a few lessons from grade 10, you can still score very good marks. So take it as a like a motivation and focus, work a little smart, focus on the target areas from grade 10 so you can score very well. It doesn't mean that you can ignore other units. Okay, yeah. So in the revision class, you have to understand that we cannot discuss each and every theory part. That you need to understand. So that is why I'm asking you to like read the TUD and come to the class. Now next week you will read the TUD and come to the class. Okay, that you need to understand that, because we don't have 2 years. Yeah, we don't have at least 1 year to cover the full syllabus once again. So we cannot cover each and everything in the syllabus. Here we are playing the game a little smart. We will focus on target areas and we will focus on the most important areas where questions will be coming from. Okay, so that is smart work here. Okay, but you got to do some hard work. Is it all right to answer extra questions for O levels in case we have extra time left in the exam? Okay, if you have scoring extra questions, you are not getting any marks. Okay, so why waste your time? You can get some sleep maybe if you have extra time, if you are very good and you wrote the exam in 2 hours, if you are very confident, 1 hour you sleep next day will be easy for you. Yeah, next day is easy anyway because next day is gonna be English. Okay, 4th day in your exam, yeah, English, no problem. Anyway, it's gonna be easy, but at least for the coming up days, maybe you lost some sleep last night and then you can get some rest. Don't write extra questions. Okay, it's a stupid idea. They will be cut at the first place. Normally the first 4 questions will be considered. So no matter how well you have written the last few questions, they won't consider that. Strike through. Yeah. So the first thing that the examiners will have to do is to check how many questions you have answered and වැඩිපුර ප්‍රශ්න ලියා ඇත්නම් මේවා තනි ඉරකින් කපා හරින්න. That is how their instructions say. තනි ඉරකින් කපා හරින්න වැඩිපුර ප්‍රශ්න. Yeah. Why are you wasting your time and energy and everything on this? So if you have more time to answer more questions, you do them. And then you can compare your questions, right? You can compare your answers. Okay, I have written this better. I haven't written this better. So then you can cross it out. You can cross it out. The unwanted answers. You can do that. Okay. But just because you wrote extra questions, you are not getting extra marks. Okay. Once you join the class, I will give you the tudes and access to the Google Drive. To join the class, I'm telling the new joiners, you can contact me personally. Okay. Map marking, we will go from the beginning. Map marking, we have a full set of recordings in the Google Drive. I will give you the plan, okay, on the coming days. Yeah, we can't discuss everything today, right? So let the class settle after a couple of weeks. Then gradually we will get into all those. Okay, don't worry. I got you covered. Okay, we can't tell you everything today, right? Yeah. So be patient, okay? Yeah, I will get you covered. Improving writing speed and also improving thinking and memorizing capacity. Sometimes I cannot identify what the questions are asking also. Okay, so this is this needs practice, and then you have to identify your studying style for this. You have to use tools like making short notes and mind maps. I have recordings for this. I can share with you once you join the class. Okay, yeah, I will give you the tips. I'll give you all the tools that you need to excel. Okay, we have discussed many things in our class, yeah, over the years. I'll give you the recordings, you can watch them and learn many things, how to take notes and stuff like that, how to read fast, how to manage your time, everything. Okay, yeah. All right, we'll go for a 10 minutes break today. We'll be back with unit number 1. Any question, any more questions? You can unmute and talk also, no problem. I don't take your school marks. Okay. If you are scoring 75 in school, I will take it as 60 no levels. I will reduce like 15 marks maybe. Yeah. As a standard. It's a good standard, right? So because we can aim higher, yes, from there. But if you are scoring 70 in my class, in my exam, I will take it as an A pass. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of it, okay? Because our standards are here. We set the bar very high, okay? You can score 80 in your levels. If you score 70 in my class, I'm gonna make it tough for you. Okay, yeah, we can we will do some hard work, so it becomes easy then after that. Okay, are you keeping physical classes? No, Pute. I'm in Maldives these days, out of the country, and call me on WhatsApp only. I'm my phone will work. It's on roaming, but I might not answer. Yeah, I will be coming next month to Sri Lanka for a few weeks. I'm on permanent vacation in Maldives. Beach vacation. Permanent. 2 years now. Okay. We'll see you in 10 minutes with unit number 1. Yeah.